Hey, welcome back, my awesome students. So, in this lecture, I'm going to discuss some of the things that we need in order for us to run PHP. Now, you should already know this by the time that you come to this course because this course is for beginners in PHP, but not for total beginners in PHP. Okay, this is a beginner's course because we're making this course very simple for e-commerce. But before you come here, you should already know some PHP. I have a great course for beginners that you can look up for. It's called PHP for Beginners. Either become a master or maybe I have a PHP web developer course that's going to show you the ropes for PHP. Okay, this is not a brand new course for people that don't know anything about PHP. You have to at least know the syntax. Okay, because I'm not going to show you how to write PHP from scratch on this course. It's just to build an e-commerce website. Okay, anyway, so now that we got that out of the way, let me just briefly discuss some of the tools that we're going to use here on this course. So of course we need to run PHP, and for that I'm going to be using XAMPP. Okay, let me see if I have it here, or MAMP. It really doesn't matter. I have XAMPP installed. Okay, and for those of you that took my other course know that I use that one, but there is also another one for Windows users called MAMP. Now, if you're running a Mac operating system or a Linux operating system, I'm going to make some lectures for you later on, but it's basically the same thing, guys. You're going to download one of these programs and we're going to run PHP inside there. Okay, and you should know that by now. Okay, so I'm just showing you what I'm going to be using. Okay, all the things that you might see me using in the course. So now another tool that we are going to be using, that something that I want you guys to at least have, is Git. Okay, Git is a version control program. Basically, we can save different versions of our projects with Git. It has a lot more power than that because we can push our projects to the online repositories where they save our projects and we can share it with people all over the world. And but it also has something that I'm very interested in. It's called the bash tool, the shell. It has something similar than command prompt that we have for Windows here. Okay, something like this, but it's going to allow us to write more code that resembles writing on a Mac OS system or resembles writing on a Linux system like Ubuntu. Okay, so for PHP we are more open source than private, than Microsoft. So we tend to write more Linux code than anything else, right? So for this, we're gonna download Git, and I think I'm gonna click here, and I don't have it in this computer, so I'm gonna download it. And some of you probably don't have it either, but I'm pretty sure that if you come here to learn about e-commerce, how to create an e-commerce site, you probably come from my other courses where I show you how to write PHP from scratch, right? So I'm gonna run this, and nets, I already have this. That's fine. I'm gonna install it there. Add on the desktop. But one thing that I'm gonna do before this one, guys, something that I'm gonna download Visual Studio Code. I use other editors like PHP Storm or Jet from JetBrains or IntelliJ IDEA from JetBrains, but this is a very good IDE for those of you that don't want to pay anything. Okay, so if you don't want to pay anything, download Visual Studio Code. Really good editor. Is free. They still free because maybe one day they'll start charging for this. Default settings, click nets, create a desktop icon, nets, install. The reason why I'm installing this before I do the Git install, which I didn't explain it here, is because Git is going to ask me if I want to use Visual Studio as a default editor for it, and I'm going to say yes. Okay, because they work really good together. So I'm going to say nets, and right here is going to ask me use Visual Studio Code as a Git defaults editor. I'm gonna click yes, and it's not gonna work because I started this before. So I'm gonna get out the install. I'm gonna go to my downloads folder, and I have Git in here, so I'm gonna run it again, and now I should have no problems following the default settings. And now if I use Visual Studio Code as a Git's default editor, my Nets button is not grayed out. Nets, 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 and check out as commit unit style line endings. Anything that's units, I'm good with it. Nets, Nets. Enable symbolic links, checked, and Nets. These new features, I'm not going to use them here, so I'm just going to click Nets without selecting any of them. Okay, so make sure that you download Visual Studio Code first. It's good to have, you know, for an editor for Git. Now, why are we downloading Git? Let me show you right now the power of this little program. And if you used it before, you can skip this lecture because we're gonna just play a little bit with it right now. I'm going to be running PHP without even using XAMPP. Right now my XAMPP installation is, let me just check it out. My XAMPP installation is actually off. So if I go and look for the application somewhere here, if I click on service, let me see if that's the application. No, right here, XAMPP control. You can see that it's not running. Okay, it's not running. If I click start, it's going to start Apache and MySQL, right? And then we can access all our PHP files inside the htdocs folder. Whatever folders we drop in here, like this demo, and whatever index.php we drop in there is going to show in our localhost right here, right? Localhost, enter. If I go to that localhost /demo, I'm gonna go to that file that I have in there. Oops. Okay, so I have a folder in there called demo with an index.php. All right, now I'm gonna turn that off right now, so that way you can see. I'm gonna show you something else. If I refresh, since I turned it off, I'm not gonna have any PHP running, right? But now if I use Visual Studio Code, I'm gonna show you how to use PHP built-in server. So even if you're not able to download those programs, you're still able to run PHP once you download Git. Of course, you're gonna have to download XAMPP anyways, because XAMPP has the PHP executable, but you don't need to be running the XAMPP control all the time, on and off, to run PHP. You can do it like this. I'll show you. So I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna drop that demo folder in there. Remember that it's now on here. I'm gonna open the terminal inside Visual Studio Code. So Control tilde. Okay, it's using PowerShell as the default editor right here. I don't know why. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to a file, and you can do this in a different way. You can do terminal, and then you can open the terminal like that. You don't have to do Control tilde to open the terminal. Okay, new terminal, and there we go. But what I want to do is, if I go to a file and I right click on the file anywhere, it says Command Palette. Control Shift and P. You can open it as well. Click it, and then here I'm gonna type in terminal. It's already there for me, but terminal default profile. Click it, and now I'm gonna choose Git Bash. So now if I open my terminal down there, well, let's let it finish. I'm gonna see that it looks different now, right? That's because I'm finally using, let me open my terminal here. I'm finally using Git Bash. Okay, So you can see it here. So I'm gonna close all these terminals, and this one has bash in there. Now, what I want to do is I want to use PHP built-in server to actually fire up a server so that I can see something in the browser. Right now, I don't see anything there. So I'm going to open this in a different, I'm going to say PHP -s and then localhost colon, and then we're going to say 9000, whatever port you want, then press enter. As you can see, it says, hey, the development server for PHP has started, port 9000. So right now, if I go to localhost on top here, and then colon 9000, you can see now that I'm able to see my file, the file that I got here on index. Hello from PHP built-in. Oops. What in the world did I just do? Built-in server. Make sure you save the file and refresh here, and now you can see that I am in that folder. So basically, and I can turn this off, by the way, Control C and then clear, and now we can do this again in another port if I wanted to. Let's say port 855. Let me see right here, PHP uppercase S, remember that, localhost colon 8555, enter. Now if I refresh here, there's nothing here 9000 anymore because I turned it off. I put it back in 855. What in the world is going on there? 8, Jesus. There we go. All right. So that's the PHP built-in server. You can do whatever you want in here. But of course, we don't. It's just a extra thing that I wanted to show you guys. So now we're done with this. I'm going to turn this off. And now that we're done with this, let's verify all the tools that we have, right? So the git bash, because we need some type of interface so that way we can code in Linux operating system, Mac OS, and Windows the same way. So we're going to have git, very important. We're going to use that a lot in, more applications that we're going to be building with PHP. We're going to use the command line a lot. So with git, we can learn a lot and we can do a lot. So we have that. We have XAMPP or any other program to run PHP, like MAMP or WAMP or XAMPP, right? Got that. Then we have something like Visual Studio Code, some type of co-editor that's going to help us write code. Now, you don't have to use Visual Studio Code if you don't want to. It's up to you, but I highly recommend it. Okay? So that's it for the tools. We don't need anything else right now. And I'll talk to you guys in the next following lectures. Take care.